Hey everyone, and welcome to our second week in environmental science. This week we're going to cover a lot of things: matter, energy, and ecosystem. Um, this content page is meant to help you get to know the content in chapter 2 in our textbook. Think it's a little crazy. I mean, these are, some pretty wide ranging topics that are getting covered in this chapter. So, this is a little bit of a tough one content wise. Use these learning goals to help sort of guide your reading of the textbook. So, make sure that you can define matter and explain the law of conservation of matter after you get through reading the relevant section in the textbook. And do that with each of these learning objectives as you read chapter 2. I also recommend that you take a look at this list and make flashcards for any terms that you don't know. Flashcards are excellent ways to learn new vocabulary, and we got a lot of vocabulary here. The rest of the tabs just have some videos and figures to help you get to know some of the content in a different way to help reinforce it audio and visually. This is a video that I made about energy and ecosystems to help you meet those learning objectives. And then these are some videos about some nutrient cycles, which are part of the ecosystem section of chapter 2. So, after you're feeling pretty comfortable with chapter 2, I want you to pick one of these learning objectives and in our discussion, post a link to a relevant learning resource that you find somewhere on the web that will help your peers meet this learning objective. So, I'm hoping that this will be a great way to help each other out. Maybe introduce your peers to some learning resources that you really find valuable to help them in the future. So please make your initial post here by Wednesday and then respond to some of what you saw from your peers by Saturday at the end of the day. Our lab this week has some parts focused on chemistry, and then some parts are sort of a follow up from last week's lab. So here's the protocol for the chemistry part, and it's going to use this PhET atom builder simulator. This is kind of a fun tool. So you can add protons. You see I just added a third proton, so now I'm looking at a lithium. You can add neutrons. That's of course going to change the mass number from 4 to 5 of this atom. And now I've got a charged atom because I have one more protons than electrons, so I can add a third electron in order to balance it out, change this net charge to 0. So this is a cool tool for getting to know the structure of atoms. So please use it, walk through this protocol using the atom builder. Then I'm going to ask you to play a game using this PhET simulation, and then finally answer some questions as you work with the atom builder. So that's the chemistry part. The Excel part includes a protocol that I'm asking you to follow. You're going to enter some data into an Excel worksheet. Should look just like this. And you're going to enter the salinity percent values from 0 to 3.6. This is for the last week's lab. You created these different salinity concentrations, and then you measured the percent germination of the seeds that were soaked in each of these solutions. So this is probably going to be your data from maybe day 6, or if your seed started to mold, maybe day 4 or something like that, wherever you had the highest germination without, I guess, something bad happening, like your dog eating it or the seed started to mold. So this is going to walk you through making a graph with a labeled X and Y axis of those data. Then you're going to make a second graph of the seedling growth data. So you were supposed to be measuring the length of each seedling that emerged from each of the concentrations and then take an average. So it should probably be the same day that your percent germination data are from. So if this is from day 6, these should probably be the seedling growth from day 6 as well. So you're going to graph that, and then you're going to take a screenshot of your work in Excel, and you'll turn the screenshot in and the answers to those chemistry questions, as well as your PhET simulation game results on this page. This is due by Saturday at the end of the day. The next part of the week 2 lab is a practice quiz. This is not timed, this is not graded. It's just here to help you prepare for the graded week 2 quiz. So again, just like the practice quiz, this covers the week 2 content. This is not proctored. You can use your notes or your book, but I recommend that you prepare for it before you open it. It's only open for 15 minutes, so make sure that you have studied the content, have studied those flashcards, have worked through the content in the content page, have looked around at the learning tools in the discussion, and then also completed the lab before you take this graded 10-point quiz. So that is all for week 2. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Have a great week. Bye.